play, quand vous play and pop off them stripes, old boy now get red to the height.
What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of Run the Riddim as we continue our exploration into the latest dancehall bangers. We have got 4 new ones for you today. As I've said before, with this video selection, we play about 1:30 of each tune in sort of typical sound system style, to try and keep things a bit quicker. I know the majority of the fan base who follow this channel primarily listen to kind of Afrobeats and Amapiano, but I'm a massive dancehall fan, and I want to make sure that I am kind of representing that to an extent as well. At least my fandom for dancehall here on the channel. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Opening up then with a brand new one from SHENSEEA. This one goes by the name Bye Bye. It's an official lyric video. Obviously, SHENSEEA is on fire right now, and I'm very excited to see how this one sounds. So as always, friends, if you're new to the channel, make sure you're getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page, turning notifications on, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff. Without further ado, let's jump into this one and see how it sounds. Much more percussive than you'd expect.
Why you couldn't leave my love? Why you couldn't leave my love? Why you couldn't leave my love? You not go left, say me a the best. Me know you love it when under me dress. Me no know if I that make you interested.
You see, this is the SHENSEEA that I like. I like SHENSEEA when she actually goes full kind of bashment mode, where she goes full dancehall mode. Obviously, her most recent album, I feel, wasn't the kind of best representation of what SHENSEEA does best music-wise. I feel that was definitely an album that was designed to push her into, I don't want to say charts or mainstream, but definitely into kind of different audiences that she hadn't yet conquered. I definitely think with this is her returning to the sort of sound that we'd expect her to be over, and she sounds great. Again, people underestimate SHENSEEA's actual singing voice. She has got a very, very good vocal, and on top of that, her kind of her use of kind of vocal textures, the way that she actually enunciates, the way that she kind of alternates her pitch and the intensity is something that's very underrated. You can already hear that across the intro on this one.
But if you're not ready, if you say you're not ready yet, it's a young girl heart, you're very delicate. Me tell you straight, if you want play a game, you want see who band fi feel pain. So me say boom bye bye if you try me. So me say boom bye bye if you try me.
Okay.
Boom bye bye if you try me. So me say boom bye bye nobody try you.
Nice. So this is a really kind of cool, almost juxtaposition of elements, because you've got obviously Boom Bye Bye, which is a very, very classic Buju Banton quote. You then on top of that have a very kind of typically SHENSEEA, quite floaty approach. So you've got these kind of very airy, quite angelic vocals going across the backdrop. You've got an instrumental itself, which is actually quite sort of delicate in its sort of sound. But then you've got literally just crud being spoken over the top of it. Literally Boom Bye Bye if you want to try me. So it's like there's a cool juxtaposition of elements, and SHENSEEA is one of the people that does bridge that gap quite well. This is sounding great. I'm loving this.
Good girl and me been true enough. I tell myself when I go fall in love. What's me ex-man fuck up me trust him gone to the dust. So if you're not serious, I beg you don't call my line. Me we do the crime dial 119. Now make no garbage waste.
Yeah, this is sounding wicked, man. We will round this one off there. The sounds of SHENSEEA with Bye Bye, the first sort of minute, 20 seconds. That's what we like to do. Typical sound system style. You'd very rarely be able to play a tune for more than a minute and a half for the first time in a dance at least. So yeah, very interesting stuff. Loving this as an approach. Again, SHENSEEA going back to her much more, I want to say, bashment influence roots, and a little bit less Americanized to an extent. And I think this is a really good kind of middle ground, because it does have that sort of cruddy element, but it also has that sort of more unique production element that SHENSEEA is very, very good at handling vocally. So there we go. Very much enjoyed this one. I'm going to give it a 4. We're going to go 4 out of 5 for this one. As always, friends, if you're new to the channel, make sure you are getting involved by hitting that subscribe button as well. Coming up next, we're going to get into a brand new one from the one and only Squash. He has a new tune out that goes by the name Diagnosis. Again, first time listening. Let's see how it sounds.
Hampton Music.
Regular, me sit down and me cry to myself. Yeah, me feel cut up on a slice on the bread. Me no know, feel like them gone with the strength.
So right from the jump, I'm liking how this one sounds because it is, again, this is where Squash, I feel, actually operates best. He operates in this zone which is a little bit more emotive, a little bit more stripped back instrumental-wise, a lot of kind of smoke and, I want to say, kind of floaty textures going on instrumental-wise, but his vocal itself is the thing that's actually, that your attention is gravitated towards, because he does have, again, a very emotional element in his vocal line. He does have this ability to kind of tie everything together. Instrumental's nice as well, quite, again, delicate, sort of very subtle piano keys going on in there. The bass line's quite potent. Interesting tune. Let's go.
Demons surround me and I cry for my van.
Cool vocal effect.
Sick. No, I'm in a hill, I'm in a hill. John, I know how to feel, I'm in a hill. No, I'm in a hill, a hill.
And again, this is something that Squash also does very well, this utilization of space, understanding that you don't have to fill up every single line of a tune with something happening. Sometimes the space is what gives something impact. That kind of lack of kind of something happening actually allows more to happen in a very weird way. It's a very, very, it's a difficult thing to kind of, I suppose, master production-wise, this understanding, and vocal-wise as well, knowing when to leave gaps, knowing when to leave things to set and breathe and relax so you can actually recharge as a listener. And sometimes the beauty is in the space, and it's great to see. Really, really cool. It's an element that actually comes from dub reggae and the idea of sometimes just snares not being there and that actually making it more interesting sonically. So it's cool to kind of see that almost emulated here in a much more modernistic style.
Hey, Bobby. If me tell her some things I want, you would I believe. Me day in Iceland, cold and a freeze. Tears me and shit, cause me pray too deep. Off my mind for some things I really want free. God I say for calm and the day man I speak. Left and I say life and the right say for squeeze. Emotionally rip up my last out of love. 5 pack of cigarettes.
There we go then. Squash Diagnosis, we will round this one off here. Very interesting overall tune. Again, not my particular cup of tea, a little bit too spacey for me, but you have to appreciate the element of space being utilised so well, and the idea of kind of reverberations and delays and kind of almost backing ad-libs, kind of filling those gaps and giving you something quite different to chow down on. But again, this is cool. I'm going to go for 3.5 from Squash. Again, Squash has been really consistent over the last couple of years, so this is another one in that run. Very good stuff. There we go. As always, friends, as I said before, make sure you are getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page. So we're going to get into track number 3 from today. We've got 4 tracks to get into in total, so we're halfway through. This next one coming to us from IWAATA. Again, I think he's been involved in the last 4 or 5 weeks of this series, just consistently putting out big tunes. Excited to hear this one. It goes by the name Senseless. Let's go. Bad Boy Mile by the screenplay, director R.
Look how much people we kill. Hollow tip that a beat in a skin.
Love the instrumental on this, that piano. Right from the jump, this is interesting, man. Again, IWAATA, this is what IWAATA does really, really well. He's able to take, and I hear it in a lot of his tunes, he's able to take these almost sort of soft horror elements, like that piano line is so kind of synonymous with like horror films. That sort of actual melody that is very dissonant. The actual texture and tone of the piano is very kind of eerie and creaky, and he's able to take those elements and then layer vocals on top that are emulating that kind of feel. Not necessarily lyric-wise, but texture and tonality-wise. Really, really cool introduction. This is as an actual listen, this is really unique. And again, IWAATA being consistent as always, man. Let's go.
Bad with them out, well and them a young bud. See the chip in a me glock, pushy bun bun. Shoulda fuck with the plane, watch a check it out. Come with a one phone call or a text and it don't crash. Red system, new we have young guns brawling with the badness, big jumbo. Make a gal run the program, fuck him then cut. Catch him right at the pocket, top muck, chip chop. Make a portal link, conquer. Rep 90s badness, Fuba GX road.
Again, utilising that vocal effect, and again keeping a very similar cadence the entire way through. Me personally, I'd have liked a little bit more variation vocal-wise, but there's something about IWAATA that just grabs you, and vocally, even though he's keeping it very monotone, it's still interesting and it's still drawing my attention, which is really cool. Again, this is another wicked approach. I can't get over this instrumental. The bass line down below, very, very potent, and then of course you've got that piano line, which is immediately making me kind of go, oh, something's gonna happen. So it has that unnatural tension to it. It's crazy.
You know, see them easy if you kill. One pro box and one does a pill. We fly like eagle pigeon. Fully done, we no tree do the green. Look how much people we kill. All the tip that I beat in a skin. Can't find body feet to the pigs. Them a flicker from them no real to the thing. Big head spliff double the car. Head charge up, well high do the measure. Big bomber kick for the ball and no become.
Yeah, this is sounding wicked, man. There we go. IWAATA with Senseless. We'll round that one off there as we get into the next tune, which is going to be the final. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5, purely for the originality and creativity of the sampling and the fact that vocal shouldn't be as engaging as it is because it's so monotone, and yet it is still very engaging. So again, creating miracles here from IWAATA. There we go. Moving into our final track of the day then. This one coming to us from one of my favourite right now, and that is, of course, TEEJAY, the official video for Gunman Fiesta. It's an animated video. I'm interested to see how this sounds and looks. Let's go. This looks cool. This looks like Clone Wars.
We done rum with the chaser fam. UTC, we are alien. Gun pump belly, we not afraid of man.
So, right from the jump, sonically, this is really well done. The bass line is potent, but it's not overbearing. Those chords are very minimal, and it allows a lot of kind of space. There's a really nice kind of, weirdly enough, the actual video actually gives me the video is how I would actually describe the instrumental. It has this kind of solid bass, nice bits going up the side, then this nice path through the middle that TEEJAY's vocal actually penetrates really well. I don't know whether that's been done on purpose, or I'm only feeling that because of the synesthesia of seeing it on screen, but that's how I'd actually have described it. So that's really, really cool to see. The video is weird as well. It's cool, it's different, it's individual, but it's weird.
Now your face is slam. We a shoot shots so we ain't LeBron. Gyal a pray to me like Abraham. Yankee, get the waitress, man. Yo, select to play the jam.
Mad. What did I just see? This sonically, I can't get over how good this is. Really cool bass line down below. TEEJAY's vocal again being utilised to the fullest, utilising kind of space and reverbs and delays and the kind of stretching and manoeuvring of that vocal to kind of give it this much more widened feel. This is really cool. On an overall sonic level, this is genuinely really cool to break down. And I think TEEJAY is someone that isn't necessarily underrated, but I'd say underappreciated for his creativity, his understanding, and the ability to kind of make a tune like this sound very kind of recognisable. Whereas there are elements on it that are quite generic, he takes those elements and ungenericifies them. I think that's the word. But yeah, it's definitely not a word. But you get what I mean.
Big Benz V6 engine, make every girl a drop G-string, make every girl a carry feelings. Show me fuck them real good. Party turn up, and in a dead enough. Little more me have a girl give me a dinner. I'm in a left me gun.
It's a very bizarre video. I cannot get over how bizarre that video is. But there we go. Gunman Fiesta from TEEJAY. Again, unusual animated video. The tune actually slaps, though. I'm probably going to go for a 4 or 5 on the tune, just because sonically it does everything it should do. And everything just fits. It's a very nicely arranged fit. And I'm trying not to be biased, because TEEJAY is one of my favourites. But there we go, guys. That is the 4 selections for today. So let me know your thoughts, how you would rate them in the comments section down below. Again, let me know of any artists I should be checking out dancehall-wise. Obviously, I've got the ones that I listen to regardless. And these videos aren't meant to be like the best 4 new releases. These are meant to be like the releases that naturally grab my attention, and I give you a quick breakdown of them as we go, just to show a little bit more representation to dancehall on the channel. Again, it's the genre I kind of grew up listening to, so I'm very excited to continue doing this series moving forward. As always, though, friends, if you're new to the channel, make sure you're getting involved and hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page, turning notifications on, of course, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff. That's it from me, though, and we shall see you all next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and peace.
Sounding so good right now, but they're sounding a Brighton town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, Cub Cam TV. Stay locked.